Can a robot use Moon Animator 2? Can a robot drop a walk animation tutorial for beginners using Moon Animator 2 on Roblox Studio 3 weeks after his last video?
Can you?
Yeah, a walk cycle is pretty simple actually. All you have to do is make 2 poses, a step pose that has a lead leg and a back leg, arms that are opposite to those legs, a torso rotated to match the lead arm, and a head tilted up to face forward. The second pose has the lead leg drive back and extend with the back leg brought up and bent. It has arms at the side of the torso, and a torso rotated to neutral and lifted up, and also has the head reoriented to stay straight. After that, you mirror, copy, mirror again, paste, copy the first pose, paste to the end, loop, and then you're done.
Doc, that walk looks lame as shit.
This is a beginner tutorial, Metal, so I don't know what you expected, but true. This is lame looking because it's lacking the 12 principles of animation. Because this is a beginner tutorial, I'll only implement 2. What's the difference between these 2 ball bouncing animations? It's easing. Let's take a look at the middle keyframe that's in between the ones where the ball is on the ground and the one where it's on the air. One has the ball directly in the middle of both poses, while the other has the ball slightly more up and closer to the second keyframe where the ball is in the air. This means we have a slow out easing. It's fast at the beginning because the middle frame is closer to the end frame, and it slows out at the end because the pose is closer to the end pose. If you reverse this idea, we'll get the slow in easing, which we did here for the middle keyframe in the falling movement. It's slow in the air and it speeds up as it falls. Combining these 2 gives us a ball bounce that has more airtime and a strong bounce. This is much more appealing than a ball bounce that has a linear speed throughout. Now, if we were to look at our walk and disable all the limbs just to look at the torso, you can see that familiar linear ball bounce. So what if we go in between our poses and recreate that ball bouncing easing? You can manually make these, but what I'm going to do is just create keyframes in the middle and then drag them to create the easing. Now, while the easing is there, this is pretty stiff. That's where overlapping action and follow-through come in. Well, see, there's this thing called physics, and when you have appendages that are loosely tied to the body, they're not gonna follow the exact same movement as the torso, but drag. For example, the head movement here is very stiff, but if we have it drag up by altering the in-between to have the head tilted and pushed into the torso a bit, then have it drag down by tilting up and pushing it out of the torso, it now actually feels more organic. Of course, depending on your style, the more subtle or extreme you can make this. We can implement this idea of physics everywhere. Like, if we treat the torso as it's both the hips and the chest, we can replicate the effect of having the hips drive the movement while the chest drags, by also having the torso drag up and down similar to how we did the head. Or, if we imagine the idea that with every step we put weight on the leading foot, we can adjust pose to lean in that direction. I'd explain everything, but again, this is a beginner tutorial, and I also don't want to take away potential problem solving for your animation growth. So, when animating, make sure you're actively thinking. Don't get distraught because something feels off. Use that feeling to hone in on rough areas and analyze what you can add or change to make it better. Also make sure that you're actively posting your animations to animation discords and asking what you can do and what areas look off to other people, because sometimes we can't always see that. You can also join my Discord server and post your animations there and ping me, and I'll respond most of the time. Don't forget that after this you can use the glorious M key to smooth out our in-betweens. I suggest using big intervals on the transitions between steps and small intervals on the actual step pose to retain that strong posing. Now, I animated this in pose to pose, but for users of straight ahead and layered, you're essentially going to be making the same poses I described, just in a different order, so don't worry. Also, my bad for taking so long. First off, Silk Song dropped, then my internet went out for a few days, then I had to get my braces taken out, so learning how to speak with retainers, that was a little weird. And then I got sick, because usually after I go to the orthodontist I get sick, so talking was insufferable. But I'm good now, my sinus is cleared, and I feel good. So we back.